And then I guess from there the Stadium Stampede. I don't necessarily rank
I rank
gimmick
this.
matches.
I rank
Like I couldn't tell you, like, going back to the other company. I wouldn't have ranked the Boneyard
this. I
match
did.
or
That was the
or
match of the
or,
pay-per-view.
or I thought it was great production. We had some production elements here in the Stampede. Stampede. What is it called again?
I almost said Spring Stampede, but it's
Spring-
the Stadium Stampede.
Stadium Stampede.
Listen, but they were very subtle production elements.
I did notice that. Like, I had a feeling that
I think this was taped.
yeah,
in
it was
the day.
taped in live,
Taped and live. It was a combo. Yeah.
or taped last night and then
Yeah.
finished up
Yeah. Up today.
up
In
today.
front of the audience.
Cause I was watching Jericho's his arm was wrapped and they started taking the gauze off, and then like when it cut into the live arena.
Yeah, it was all saw. It was perfectly new.
Yeah. I mean, it started to come off subtly, but just not the same way as it was prior. And then you had the FTR and Santana and Ortiz in the bar.
Yeah.
You know what? Since I don't rate it, I mean, all right. Last year, I remember being on the phone with you and how much you loved
I did.
last year's Stadium Stampede.
I loved it because it was so wacky.
So, what did you think in comparison?
This was better.
You like this one better?
Yeah.
Oh, why is that?
Because it had more wrestling. There was definitely
Okay,
more of an
that's true.
authenticity to it.
That's true.
Last year was Jericho like telling the ref he sucks. The line ref, you suck, line ref. You're terrible. And like last year was Looney Tunes.
That's true. he gave the Judas elbow to the mascot last year.
It was Looney Tunes.
Matt Hardy being drowned and resurrected.
Yeah, we had a one-winged angel off the top of the stadium or like off the ballpark part or whatever. I forget what it was. It was very high off the bleachers.
Right.
And, I mean, you had people getting hit with golf carts, and, I mean, you had that today, but... It was way more kitsch factor and corniness last year that I think I just loved it for the time. They were being creative. They were doing what they could with the parameters they had.
But that wasn't a wrestling match. And neither was this.
This was a wrestling match. This had a pinfall.
Last year had a pinfall.
Yeah, it wasn't the same, though. It was not like this. This had a lot more wrestling.
Would you watch it over again?
Yeah. It was entertaining. They all did a great job. And they did like something that I didn't think could happen is Sammy Guevara won me over to the point where the ending I was good with. I was really, I mean, as big of a Jericho mark as I am. If you think I'm a Britt Baker mark, you know personally.
Yeah.
I am AEW because of Jericho. Like I fucking have everything of Jericho. I have 3 bottles of the bubbly, and all that. I have empty bottles, of course, but I have them. And then I have his faction figure, his shirts, everything. But I've been a Jericho mark for a long, long time, and he's the best as a heel. But tonight was like he was a heel but a face because they're just default faces. But I think everyone did a great job. And what I think the big difference is with this is even though last year's Stadium Stampede had more powerhouse names, this year was a better pairing. I think, Wardlow versus Jake Hager was great. Sean Spears and Sammy Guevara. And they paced this one way better. Last year was if you go back and watch it, it's very frenetic. It's all over the place. Like cameras, you're like 1 minute you're there, your next minute you're here. It's like we talked about tonight, so the rules of these matches apparently are whoever gets the pinfall first on the team wins for the whole team. But how do you run into a situation where you don't know somebody's pinning each other at the same time? It's just whoever the camera's on is getting the pin, so it's kind of telegraphed. But like last year, people were trying to pin each other all over the place, and it was crazy. But I liked Matt Hardy being drowned and coming back as version 1 and all that stuff. Like I thought that was cool. This year they couldn't really do that because I think the audience is not as naive because we're on the other side of the pandemic winding down. Now it's time to go back to reality and a little bit more, authenticity. So
it was too produced for me.
tonight?
No, just the State
last
of
year
Stampede.
was way too produced.
So technically, in my opinion, so was today too. Not as much as last
Very
year.
subtle, I thought.
Not as much as last year.
With the exception of the barroom scene.
But like,
the disco.
so like once we get into that, like it's not necessarily wrestling to me.
Yeah.
Like what I will say is that it's entertaining to watch, but I wouldn't classify it as a wrestling match. That's why I don't rate
I gave
this
it a 3
one.
count because it kept my attention. It went long, and I was like, "Oh,
So
man,
wait
this
a minute. Okay,
could have been a
so
disaster."
You're okay. I got it. But so this is on the same level as the
Nope.
triple threat
Nope.
match.
Nope. That's
earlier.
a 3 count. This is a 3 count. Britt Baker's a 3 count. This is a 3 count.
This is a 3 count, not a 3 count. Just
That's right.
a 3 count. So we're using voice flexion to separate and differentiate.
That's right. No, because there was a lot of 3 counts on this show. I gave 4 3 counts. They all are varying levels of great. Like Moxley in them's a 3 count.
We're gonna have to highlight this.
Britt
This
Baker's
is
a 3 count.
this literally is the most 3 counts you've ever given.
Right. Omega's a 3 count, and then this was a 3 count.
And so basically, with the exception of the 2 of the matches, you rewatched the whole thing.
I would. Yeah. It was great. It was a great pay-per-view.
That's fair.
I'm more entertained than any WWE pay-per-view in recent memory.
In comparison to that, yes.
Because WWE is usually a 2-trick pony. It's like 1 or 2 matches out of the card are like either phenomenal and you're like, man, but it doesn't make a card.
Well, there's way too. Well, we can discuss.
Let's
the
say the
WWE
last
issues.
pay-per-view we just saw with
Backlash?
WWE. Yeah, WrestleMania Backlash. You mean?
Yeah.
Stupid name, but yeah, Backlash. You had Dominic and Ray win. That was good. And the main event was stellar with Cesaro and Roman. But then, think about everything else. It was all good. But I haven't rewatched any of it. And I haven't clamored to rewatch it. I have rewatched the Roman main event. I thought it was great. But also because, at that point in time, I was exhausted and I was catching flies.
Yeah.
So I remembered 40% of it. But I rewatched it and it was wonderful. This, though, I would solidly rewatch Kingston and Moxley. I would rewatch Britt Baker and, Sheeta 3 times. I would rewatch the Stadium Stampede. I would rewatch, what's it called? I'd rewatch Miro and Archer, and I would rewatch 100% Omega and Cassidy. Never mind. I gave it 5 3 counts because Sting and Darby Allin, I gave it 3 count too.
So this was just a night of good
This was a
wrestling,
night
good
of-
television for you.
This I'm telling you, when you can make me feel like I didn't waste $50 in this climate of wrestling, where pay-per-views are churned out on a weekly basis, that's a good thing. They did the last AEW pay-per-view I bought was what, in 2019?
It was
2020. It was 2020, but it was. What was it? What was the name of it? I don't remember. Was it Full Gear?
No, I think it was. It may have been Full Gear.
I think it was Full
The
Gear.
tooth and nail match.
Yeah, it was bad. I felt robbed. I was so upset. So I didn't order Retribution or Revolution or whatever the ones that they've done this year.
Right.
I didn't order anything except this one. And I said, I didn't even know the card. I just was like, you know what? I just want to watch wrestling.
You walked in cold. And you were satisfied.
Yeah. And when I saw the card in paper after I ordered it, I was like, okay, this could be a decent... I looked at it as this could be a great house show. If I was there live, this would be cool. No, this was very worthy of a pay-per-view. It was great. I encourage anyone who hasn't seen it to rewatch it. Well, not rewatch it. Watch it. And there's some awesome moments. And the thing that you were saying... AEW can make their pay-per-view special. They have to find a way to find the balance in their TV show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now that they've got a second TV show coming, that's a little worrisome to me because now you're getting into that oversaturation thing, which they had going for them is just one show and pay-per-views once in a while. Now you're going to have 2 shows, so you're coming like the other company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I don't know how well they're going to pull that factor off. I really don't know. And I don't know if they have a deep enough roster to keep me entertained for 4 hours a week.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll
But
see.
they definitely did it every 3 months, and I'm very happy with tonight.
For sure. And there you have it, gang. There you have it. Double or Nothing 2021 from your favorite hosts and colleagues from Smart Tank Revolution, Joey Business, and Donnie Wonderful.
Yeah, spectacular show.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.